In a regular meeting on Monday, August 11th, 2014, in the boardroom of the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District Instructional Support Center, 10,300 Jones Road, Texas, at 6 p.m. I want to welcome the members of our audience and our television viewers to this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As the Cypress-Fairbanks Board of Trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports, approve budgets, contracts, personal appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by Section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. These proceedings are airing live on CFTV Channel 16 and CFTV online on the district website. They will also be rebroadcast throughout the month on Channel 16 and available as video on demand on the website. For the tape to adequately reflect the proceedings, I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in the Cypress-Fairbanks Independent School District. Tonight's invocation will be presented by Teresa Hull, Associate Superintendent for Governmental Relations, Communications, and Chief of Staff. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Let us pray. Father, we come before you tonight with thanks for the many educators and community members who have made this district what it is today. We especially thank you for the individuals that were honored this past weekend. Thank you for their vision and passion and the impact they have made on the students of CFISD. As we prepare to begin a new school year, we pray that our students have a safe return to school. We ask that you care for those who may be especially anxious and for our little ones who may be leaving their families for the first time. Heavenly Father, thank you for our teachers and campus leaders, along with all of our support staff you have called to this profession. We know that your children, our students, are precious, and we pray that we are able to inspire them to be their best. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Board member Christine Hartley will read the district's vision and mission statement for the benefit of the audience.
The vision statement: learn, empower, achieve, dream, lead. The mission statement: the district shall maximize every student's potential through rigorous and relevant learning experiences, preparing students to be 21st century global leaders.
Thank you, Christine. A couple of housekeeping notes. The musical interlude, is that the right way to say that, Bob? Prelude. Well, what would be an interlude?
Interlude would be in the middle of the meeting, which sometimes we don't get to that quick.
Okay. The musical prelude you heard was the Dean Middle School UIL Performance Choir. Anything musical, you go to Bob for. You want to know that. We also have a couple of scouts in the audience. You're getting your community service badge. Stand up, guys. You're about to be on TV. Boom. This is how Justin Bieber started. It's awesome. Y'all aren't old enough to vote, so I'm good. Our TV crew working tonight. We have Anastasia Gorshunina from Cypress Creek and Paige Parker from Cypress Creek. And also from Langham Creek, we have Mariana Villalobos and Quentin Lawton. And then from Cypress Ridge, we have Joshua Hernandez. And their AVP advisors are Jana Bullock, Cindy Stoker, and Brandy Milson. We appreciate you guys working tonight. Thank you for all that you do. And then also in the audience, we have from Community Impact, Marie Leonard. Smack dab in the middle. Hello, Marie. We will now move on to this evening's special recognitions portion of the agenda. Agenda item 1A, the superintendent will make remarks and announcements, including the honors and achievements earned by staff and students in recent weeks. Dr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. President. CFISD recently received the 2014 Leadership Circle Platinum Award level, which spotlights entities that meet an even higher standard of financial transparency online. CFISD scored a near-perfect 17 out of 18 in combined minor and major criteria to earn this highest possible designation. CFISD was also recognized in a report issued by the Office of Susan Combs, Comptroller for Public Accounts, for its fiscal responsibility with school construction. The report commended districts that implement practices to save taxpayers' money. CFISD earned special mention for using architectural prototypes for schools that have saved significant construction time and expense. The report also revealed that CFISD paid 30% less than the average adjusted cost per square foot. So congratulations to Roy Sprague and his team. The Education Resource Group, a data-driven company that provides accountability and performance management of public schools, has for the second year rated CFISD the best overall in academic performance and financial performance in its 2012-13 Best Practice Awards. I can tell you that this is a group that has no association with the school district or any others, and to my knowledge, we're the only district that's ever won that award 2 years in a row, so that's something to be proud of with our financial management and, of course, our academic performance. 75 members of the Cy Ranch Key Club, the club's Kiwanis sponsor and one of the club's faculty advisors, earned the President's Volunteer Service Award for 2013. The award is issued by the President's Council on Service and Civic Participation on behalf of the President of the United States. The 75 students collectively completed nearly 10,000 service hours in CFISD schools and the local community. In the past 2 years, the Cy Ranch Key Club has been chosen as the #1 and #2, respectively, in the rankings of the best key clubs in Texas and Oklahoma. 5 football players, one each from Cy Ranch, Cy Ridge, Cy Fair, Cy Falls, and Jersey Village, have been named to represent CFISD on the 2014 All-Greater Houston preseason high school football team by the Touchdown Club of Houston. That's all I have at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. Ms. Hull also pointed out that we also have 2 more scouts that need some TV time. In the back. You guys stand up. Come on, let's get you on TV. Flip the camera around. Get them on TV. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming. Does anybody else want to be on TV while I'm at it? Just say the word. I'll get you on there. Not you, Marty. Agenda item 2A, any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this time. Comments? Mr. Covey.
Just quickly, I'd like to certainly welcome all the teachers back and the faculty and support staff and certainly the students. You are actually the heart and soul of this district, and it's so great to have y'all coming back. And I issue a certain come on board to everybody that's brand new coming in. I understand our people here, Deborah ran a group and we got over 2,000 new teachers, if I remember correctly. So welcome to Cy-Fair. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Covey. Anybody else? Dr. Ogletree.
I just wanted to say that I was truly humbled to be one of the honorees for the Diamond Jubilee Gala this past Saturday. And I want to thank whoever submitted my name. I know that there are many others who could have and should have been part of that honoree list. And I'm just happy to be a part of a great district, a great community, and a great board. And just want to say thank you. And it was an awesome, wonderful event.
Well said, John. Thank you. Christine?
I want to piggyback on Dr. Ogletree's comments. Saturday night, the Diamond Jubilee was fabulous. It's amazing if you really take time and learn about the district that you're a part of and read the history, and such a strong history with amazing people. Makes you even more proud to be a part of Cy-Fair. And I'd like to thank Christina Perez and Cheryl Salyards for an amazing job on the Jubilee, and applause to you. So thank you.
Christina's actually back there.
Who is?
Christina Perez, one of our co-chairs of the
Yeah, there you go, Christine. Stand up. You might as well get on TV with the
That's
scouts,
right.
too. Get on TV. Get on TV. There you go. It really was an awesome event. Y'all did a spectacular job, so thank you very much. It's a great way to kick off our year, actually. So great comments from board members. Mr. Jackson.
The good news for everybody in the audience and my colleagues is I don't have my notes tonight. My colleagues and I logged any number of hours just in 1 week alone, having events virtually every single day of the week except for Sunday on behalf of the district and the children. I would also like to mention that in addition to Dr. Ogletree, we had 2 other board members who were recognized as being outstanding contributors for the district. That being my colleague Darcy Mangoya, as well as Board President Don Ryan. And I think they have done superb, all 3 have done superb things on behalf of this district and deserve the coveted Tip of the Hat Award. And of course, Christine Hartley, a couple of generations down, can claim a little part of that as well. So thank you to my colleagues.
Thank you, Tom. Agenda item 3A, patrons who have duly registered per policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concern or interest to the district other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience and the viewers that the comments of the speakers reflect their own position, or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under the action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of the speakers. Please understand that a lack of response from board members does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the board. Ms. Christine Hartley, Secretary of the Board, will be the designated timekeeper. Tonight we've had 1 speaker sign up, Ms. Mary Stoner, who is President of Cy-Fair TSTA. Is going to come speak. Welcome back, Ms. Stoner.
Thanks. Good evening, President Ryan, board members, and Dr. Henry. The media continue to highlight the supposed discrepancies of public education and public school educators as opposed to private schools and vouchers. The National Education Association's mission, vision, and value statements supports public education first and foremost. And I would like to reiterate these statements to you as their local representative. We, the members of the National Education Association, are the voice of education professionals. Our work is fundamental to the nation, and we accept the profound trust placed in us. Our vision is a great public school for every student. Our mission is to advocate for education professionals and to unite our members and the nation to fulfill the promise of public education, to prepare every student to succeed in a diverse and interdependent world. Our core values include some of the following principles which guide our work and define our mission. Equal opportunity. All students have the right to a quality education that develops their potential, independence, and character. A just society. We believe public education is vital to building respect for the worth, dignity, and equality of every individual in our diverse society. Professionalism. We believe that expertise and judgment of education professionals are critical to student success. We maintain the highest professional standards, and we expect the status, compensation, and respect due all professionals. Partnership. We believe partnerships with families, parents, communities, and other stakeholders are essential to quality public education and student success. Collective action. We believe individuals are strengthened when they work together for a common good. As education professionals, we improve both our professional status and the quality of public education when we unite and advocate collectively. There's no higher mission for us public school educators than those I have just reiterated. You can count on Cyfair TSTA to uphold the vision, mission, and core values of the NEA and to work with you to make them a reality for our students and teachers. And our Vice President, Sakina Hoskins, has a lapel pin for each of you, which designates that we are advocates of public education.
Thank you, Mary. Sakina, thank you for the pen. Francis, welcome back. Good to see you. I won't make you get on TV or anything, don't worry. You're right. I know. The board will hear the following report. Agenda item 4A, the administration will provide an oral report on the 2014 STAR 3 through 8 end of course state accountability ratings and community and student engagement ratings. Our presenter will be Linda Macias and Ashley Claiborne.
Good evening, President Ryan, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Henry. Tonight we'll present you and the viewing audience with an overview of the 2014 STAR results, the state accountability results, and the results from our newest state evaluation, the district evaluation of community and student engagement. Throughout the past couple of weeks, we have been reviewing these data and looking to see where growth was made based on the new initiatives that we put in place during the 2013 and 14 school year. We are pleased to note that our two secondary schools participating in the middle small learning community pilot, Hopper Middle School and Cypress Springs High School, showed academic growth that helped contribute to the data you're about to review. We are pleased to also share with you that we will extend our small learning community pilot to Kayla Middle School this school year. Kayla is also a feeder school for Cypress Springs High School. Another component of the in the middle pilot was the implementation of the balanced literacy model throughout the district for 6th grade. And we are also happy to report that 6th grade reading scores have increased with this implementation. Last year, you may remember that we shared our concern about our writing scores. The curriculum team, along with representatives from the campus, enhanced the focus on writing, developed a writing plan, and provided additional training and staff development for our teachers, including training by Victoria Young, one of the developers of the STAR writing for the state. And again, we are happy to share that we also saw some growth in writing as well. At this time, Dr. Claiborne will share with you more details about our academic performance for the 2013 and 14 school year.
We begin tonight with some exciting news for two of our schools based on the results of the 2012-13 accountability system. In July 2014, TEA notified districts of those schools that were awarded Reward School status in the high-performing category. Two of our schools, Post Elementary and Jersey Village High School, received this high honor. Campuses earned this honor if they were a Title I school with distinction designations in reading and math, met all federal system safeguard targets at 75%, and for high schools, a Title I school with a completion rate of 90% or higher. There were only 37 campuses in the entire Region 4 that earned this recognition. Cy-Fair was the only district in our immediate area that earned this recognition. We were also notified that 4 of our campuses were awarded the Reward School status in the High Progress area. These campuses were Cypress Springs High School, Jersey Village High School, Matsky Elementary, and Wilson Elementary. This honor was awarded to Title I campuses that earned the 25% Student Progress Distinction designation and met all the federal system safeguard targets of 75% in reading and math. There were only 52 campuses in the entire Region 4 area that earned this recognition. Cy-Fair was the only district in our immediate area with 4 schools earning this award. Katy ISD had 1 campus earn the award. Before you now are data summarized by grades 3 through 8 for the 2014 STAR Reading Test. You will see data for the following student groups: all, Hispanic, African American, white, and economically disadvantaged. Cy-Fair data are represented by the light green bar, and the data for the state of Texas are represented by the dark green bar. As you can see, Cy-Fair ISD students outperformed the state in all student groups. In mathematics for grades 3 through 8, Cy-Fair ISD outperformed the state in the student groups noted above. Writing scores in grades 4 and 7 were also higher than the state in each of the student groups before you now. Cy-Fair ISD students in grades 5 and 8 were administered the STAR Science exam. These students outperformed the state in each of the student groups noted above. In grade 8, our students who took the Social Studies STAR also outperformed the state in each student group. Now we will turn our attention to the results of the end-of-course exams in Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. The end-of-course data will depict results from students who took the exam for the first time in the 13-14 school year. We begin with the English 1 results. This year, reading and writing were combined into one exam. The scores before you now note the fact that Cy-Fair ISD students outperformed the state in each of the student groups listed above. In addition, 2013-14 was the first year the English 2 exam was also administered as a combination reading and writing exam. Our students outperformed the state in each of the student groups listed above. In Algebra 1, Cy-Fair ISD students continue to outperform the state. It is important to note that 49% of our 8th grade students took the Algebra 1 exam, and 99% of those 8th grade students passed the exam. First-time testers in Cy-Fair ISD also outperformed the state in biology. U.S. history data for our first-time testers also denotes performance above that at the state level. Once again this year, our 5th and 8th grade students were given the opportunity to pass the reading and math STAR, three opportunities as part of the Student Success Initiative. The data before you now depict performance on the first round of STAR, which is the light green bar, and then combine performance after the 3rd administration of the STAR, that's the dark green bar. It is important to note the performance from the 1st administration to the 3rd administration went up 10 points for 5th grade reading, 9 points for 5th grade math, 7 points for 8th grade reading, and 12 points for 8th grade math. As we transition to reviewing the data from the State Accountability System, I would like to remind the board and the viewing audience that the State Accountability Rating System is based on a performance index framework focusing on 4 areas: student achievement, student progress, closing performance gaps, and post-secondary readiness. Once again this year, the district, as well as all of our campuses, earned the MET Standard rating, the highest rating you can achieve in the state accountability system. This is a great accomplishment, and we congratulate all of our campuses. The data displayed before you now depict the district's performance as compared to the 4 other largest districts in Texas. The first column depicts the district name. The second column depicts the total number of students enrolled in the district, followed by the percent of economically disadvantaged students. You will see the 2014 district accountability rating, followed by the number and percent of campuses that met the standard, the number and percent of campuses that were rated improvement required, and the number and percent of campuses that earned at least 1 or more distinction designations. As you can see, once again this year, Cy-Fair is the largest district in the state of Texas, with all campuses meeting the standard and no campuses being rated as improvement required. The data before you now are formatted similarly to the previous table. This table depicts the performance of Cy-Fair ISD versus our surrounding school districts. If we could just go back one, leave that up for a few more seconds. As part of the state accountability system, our campuses are also able to earn distinction designations. These distinctions note high levels of performance in the following areas: academic achievement in reading, English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies, top 25% in student progress, top 25% in closing the performance gap, and post-secondary readiness. Campuses earning 1 or more of these distinction designations met rigorous criteria to earn the highest level of recognition in the state accountability system. Noted before you now are the number of distinction designations earned district-wide in elementary, middle school, and high school. We would also like to note that 71% of our campuses earned at least 1 distinction designation in 2014, as opposed to 51% in 2013. This is an increase of 20%. As we shared with the board in April 2014, House Bill 5 requires school districts to evaluate the district's performance and the performance of each campus in the district in community and student engagement and in compliance. The community engagement requirement is an opportunity for districts to demonstrate areas of excellence and success, as well as recognize areas in need of improvement and set future goals valued in the community. It is important to note that this evaluation is separate from and in addition to state and federal accountability requirements. Campuses and districts are held accountable for state accountability, federal accountability, and community and student engagement accountability. Additionally, the evaluation will look different in each school district across the state of Texas because the evaluation is locally developed around a specific set of criteria. Depicted before you now are the first 4 areas in which we are required to evaluate ourselves: community and parent involvement, wellness and PE, 21st century workforce development, and second language acquisition. As required by law, campus ratings must fall in one of 4 categories: exemplary, recognized, acceptable, and unacceptable. Before you now are the number of campuses rated in each area. The next set of ratings include dropout prevention, digital learning environment, gifted and talented, fine arts, and compliance. Once again, we've depicted the campus ratings in each area. Before you now are the overall ratings for the CASE system. Due to the fact that 2014 was the first year for the CASE rating system, and due to the fact that the development of the plan took 3/4 of the 2013-14 school year, we consider these data as an inaugural outcome. The 2014 targets were set at very attainable levels, and our outcomes denote the hard work of our campuses. As we move forward in the case process for the 2015 school year, we will reconvene the case committee made up of campus and district administrators, as well as parent and community members, to reevaluate our process and set the targets for the 2014-15 school year. Since the process will no longer be new for the campuses, we anticipate increasing the targets in each area and working toward achievable yet challenging goals. The board and community members may access STAR and CASE data by navigating to a campus webpage, clicking on About Us, and then clicking on School Ratings and/or Community and Student Engagement Ratings.
So as we move forward in the 2014 and 15 school year, the district and all of our campuses will continue to analyze data as we work to develop the district and campus improvement plans. At the district level, we will increase our focus on campus monitoring. Any campus that was below 80 on Index 1 and below the district average on Index 2 and/or Index 3 in the state accountability system will participate in achievement meetings, as well as have a member of the district curriculum team join them to monitor their data on a frequent basis, thus increasing support and interaction with the campuses. We will also continue to implement our action plan to eliminate the achievement gap. As I mentioned earlier, we will add Kayla Middle School to the In the Middle Small Learning Community pilot. Their teachers will be trained later this month on building trust and relationships with students and parents and on effective strategies for small learning communities. We will continue our 6th grade balanced literacy initiative, as well as continue to work on bridging the instructional and vocabulary gaps between 5th and 6th grade and 8th to 9th grade. Additionally, we'll continue to focus on student academic growth through differentiation in iExplore data displayed, and we'll work with teachers to review individual student data in iExplore, our curriculum management system. Teams of teachers will continue to be a part of data digs to monitor and adjust instructions for our students, as well as will continue to provide opportunities for campuses to share effective best practices with each other. This concludes our presentation for this evening, and we will be happy to entertain any questions.
Linda and Ashley, thank you for that presentation. It was it's remarkable to see what our district has accomplished over this past year. It truly is. Questions from board members? Ms. Hartley?
Yes. Great numbers. Y'all are just doing a great job, and thank you for putting all this together. At the beginning with the high progress reward schools, and is that Index 2 that's looking at with the progress?
The index for the high-performing schools, they're not looking specifically at an index score
Okay,
there.
okay.
What they're looking at, the one that was awarded to Jersey Village and Post, they're looking at whether or not they earned distinction designations in reading and math, and they're looking to see that they met the federal system safeguard targets at 75% or higher. And then for Jersey Village High School, they needed to have a completion rate, which is essentially their graduation rate of 90% or higher.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, maybe I referenced the wrong one. The high progress, the slide right below
The
that?
high progress, basically, that one was looking at 25% student progress on the distinction designation, which does look at index to the student progress.
Okay, that's what I was
index. Yes,
wondering. I
ma'am.
mean, those are great numbers, and that's a
Very
great,
good.
I thought, okay, what, they're obviously doing something to get the kids to progress that much, and so let's see what they're doing, and that's a great number.
Yeah, it's a big honor for those campuses.
Yes, okay. And then one more question real quick on the, okay, on the case ratings about the community involvement?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that involve where we were going in to meet with the parents and around one of the elementary schools? Or am I thinking something different?
If you recall the board meeting where the campuses created a case box for you?
Right.
That's what that is. But we brought in community and community representation and campuses to be part of the team that developed the different targets and measures that we were looking at.
Right, was that part of where y'all going into apartment complexes and meeting with, y'all were going somewhere and meeting with parents, or just getting feedback from parents?
No, we didn't go
Okay.
into the department. That was putting together the team and bringing it here.
Okay. I must be
Had
remembering
community
whatever I'm
members.
remembering wrong.
We had community members as part of the team, and they
Yeah,
provided us
that's what I was
with
thinking of
feedback.
at Francone. I was trying to, that's what I was, that's what I was thinking of. Was that part of that I just was kind of wondering how that all went, and maybe if we're going to hear about that in the future and how that's going.
The Francome project was part of our eliminating the achievement gap and working with our African-American kids. And yes, we're going to present a report next month on
Okay.
some other initiatives as well.
Super, super. Thanks. Look forward to hearing it.
Apparently you were having a Don moment right there.
I knew I was remembering something.
Dr. Ogletree.
This is an outstanding report and really lets us know the hard work that you all do and our teachers and what a great district we're in. I am wondering, though, when we break this down, if we could get, and if it's available, on the charts that you've presented to us, the reading grades 3 through 8, math 3 through 8, writing, science, social studies, and the EOC, those reports, could we get those that so we could compare our district to Katy, Klein, Alief, and Spring Branch, Tomball, so we can get a sharper look at how they are doing with and the gap closing and what have you. That's what I'd like to do.
So the individual content areas
Yes.
as compared to the different surrounding districts.
Yes.
And I think what he's saying, and I'm not putting words in his mouth, but with the different subgroups.
Yes.
More detailed information.
Yes, I'd like to see, not to just brag on our district, but I know we have no problem whooping the state. What I'd like to see is that comparison with the other districts and what they're doing as we, disaggregate these different subgroups.
We'll pull that together for you.
All right.
Mr. Covey, or anybody else? All right.
Dr. Macias, I know we've kind of talked about this before, and I know because the STAR was relatively new, but one of the things I would like to see, because I think the report's wonderful, so don't get me wrong there, but we talk about it closing that achievement gap, and yet we also realize that all of our subgroups are making improvements along the way. So sometimes the gap is still there. We haven't closed it, but the gap could be getting closer. But when you look at the subgroups, they're all improving from the year before. So I would kind of like to be able to see where we were the year before, since we are now in is this the third year of the STAR? It is, third year of the STAR. So at least we have something, we talked about this before you had any background on the STAR. So I think that would be real informative for us to know that all of our subgroups are improving, even though the achievement gap hasn't totally closed.
Pull that.
Any other questions? Mr. Jackson? Also, if you can hear outside and your windows are down, you might want to go check your car. Just throwing it out there right now.
A request that I've made in the past, when you pull together the information for Dr. Ogletree and compare us to other districts, would you note somewhere on that schedule or in that report the funding differential on a per-child basis between us and the other districts? So for example, if a neighboring district happens to get $858 more per child,
Good to know.
not to mention any names, right? But if we could include that on the report. I do have a philosophical question, and I guess this really goes to you, Dr. Henry.
Okay, sorry.
This district, under your leadership, has espoused the concept of incremental innovation and pilot programs, and that really does not make for good press coverage, and it doesn't play well to borrow a phrase in Peoria, when it comes political season. Do you believe these test scores support that is a valid concept, or do you believe these test scores really do not show that approach makes good progress?
Well, excuse me, I believe that this report is one portion to prove that we're doing a lot of things right. And I think some of the information that Dr. Ogletree and Mr. Covey have asked for, I think once you see that information, I think we're making much more progress than a lot of other districts. So I've just never been a huge believer in throwing huge sums of money at district-wide initiatives until they've been tested at a pilot level. And I think we do that with a lot of things, and what Dr. Macias is talking about, some of the things we have going on at Springs with feeder patterns that are working together. You know, we're learning from those, and we're going to expand those. I go back to our college and career counselors. You know, we started with one, and it was successful, and now each year we're adding more and more. And I have learned over the years that in education, if there's going to be real learning, it doesn't happen overnight. It has to be incremental, and it has to be proven from year to year. So usually when you hear about these, what do they call it, the Houston miracle at one time and other miracles at one time, I'm just not sure that's real growth. So we want to make sure that we're growing incrementally, and like I said, I think this report proves that. We're going the right direction, but it takes a little longer, and like you said, there's not a lot of sizzle. You may not get invited on the speaker circuit as often, but it's real improvement, and it's lasting improvement. And it's the right and moral thing to do, because we're just not going to beat our children with tests. We're going to do all of the other things that inspires them to really learn, and we're not going to focus totally on the test, or I hope that's the direction that this board wants to go, is to develop whole children and not just good test takers.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. And my next question, I guess, really goes to Dr. Macias. Prior to the meeting, I reread again the district improvement plan, and I read it when it was first presented. And in there, management has embedded various different target objectives. And when it was presented to the board, I raised the question to Dr. Henry that some of those targets seemed rather aggressive. And did he have concern? And his answer was, if you don't aim high, you can't achieve high. My question for you, Dr. Macias, is, are we able to compare these results to the targets within our district improvement plan? And if we're able to make that comparison, how did we do?
Yes, we are, Mr. Jackson, and I do agree with Dr. Henry. We've got to aim high. I think that's one of the reasons why Cy-Fair has been successful. We don't just stick with whatever the target is for the state. We keep reaching for the stars for all of our kids. We can share some information with you. I would like to share though that when we set the targets, you may recall that we also shared with you that we were setting the targets based on the previous year's data that we had. We didn't have data for the current year. In fact, we just received the targets a couple of weeks ago for this current year. So we have information to share with you, but wanted to let you know that our targets do need to be adjusted some, because the state has adjusted the targets. Not only did they adjust the targets, but for each of the different indices that we've talked about that make up the accountability system, the state itself adjusted the target for each different indice or index, because they added more criteria and different criteria to each of those areas. But in anticipation for your question, we thought you probably would ask something like this. Dr. Claiborne has some information to share.
Before you now, we have information on each one of the targets related to data from the district's long-range plan. One of our first targets looks at Index 2, and what we were trying to accomplish this year was raise our Index 2 target, which is looking at student growth, to 36 points. We actually received 42 points on that index area, so we did show growth on that measure. And additionally, additional students were added into the accountability system under Index 2 through what's called the ELL, English Language Learner Progress Measure. When you look at Index 3 looks at closing the performance gaps. Last year, the district earned 80 points, and the target was 55 points. This year, the district earned 44 points, and the target was lowered by the state to 28 points. So this is one of the areas where Dr. Macias was referring to, that we may have earned fewer points, but the target was lowered as well. And we knew that this was going to happen this year once we found out more about what was going to be included in the accountability system, because in Index 3, it was looking at student performance at the passing standard as well as the advanced standard. So half of that index measure was based on passing and half was based on advanced performance. So we knew adding in that advanced performance would bring that performance down. Then for sixth grade reading, our target was 82% passing. We had a passing rate of 85%. Sixth grade math, the target was 85% passing. Our passing rate was 86%. Ninth grade reading, the target was 79% passing, and we met that target at 79% passing. Ninth grade math, we set our target at 89%. We earned 86% passing, and the reason you'll see a little differentiation there, in 2013, the data that the targets were set on included Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and geometry tests. Then House Bill 5 took away two of those tests, Algebra 2 and geometry, and so this year our data are only based on Algebra 1. So when you look back at the 2013 data simply on Algebra 1, our students had an 82% passing rate, and in 2014 we had an 86% passing rate. So apples to apples comparison, we did make growth, but that unequal comparison, if you will, we were just a little below our target.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, and for a data geek like me, I'm sort of like a pig rolling around in the mud. Thank you very much. I appreciate the fact that not only is this district a high-performing district, but you never rest on your laurels and you continually look to do better. It's really a quite impressive performance. And I think that the community rewarded this district for being a high-performance district with the passing at an overwhelming level of the bond issue. So I think that says the community understands that y'all have done a remarkable job here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Covey?
Just a follow-up question. Is this the place where if you took algebra in the 8th grade, we can't count it in the high school? Is that where that fell down?
The way we set our targets, we were looking at growth from 8th to 9th grade. So these data are just 9th graders that took Algebra 1. Our 8th graders in the big system are included in with Algebra 1, so that bumps up our scores. But these data for the target and the long-range plan are just looking at 9th graders.
So if they took it in the 8th grade, we couldn't count what they did in the 8th grade?
We did not count them in this particular one.
Okay, thanks.
And just,
Thanks for pointing that out, Bob, by the way. That was, we talked about that, I think, this weekend, so I appreciate you doing that.
and just to point on that, Dr. Macias, just take this much time and remind them one of the ways that we addressed this issue this summer.
We had an algebra camp this summer for any of our students who were not successful on the first administration of the 8th grade STAR. And so we had different sites where any child who met that criteria was bused to the side. We fed them there. They had 4 different rotations of math, and then we had some quantum learning support there for the self-esteem building. Lots of hands-on math that went on at those camps. It was very successful.
Thank you, ladies. That was an awesome report. And I think what it shows across the district, and a shout out to our principals, our teachers, what a remarkable job is going on in every campus in our district. I mean, it doesn't matter where they are, it doesn't matter their economic breakdown, anything regarding the district, we are doing amazing, and it really goes down to the campus level. I know that you know, you guys, you got the plans in place to help them succeed, but I've always thought it boils down to the teacher in the classroom and even the support staff on the campus. So this is just a great reflection of what's going on in Cypher ISD. So thank you guys for this report. And Dr. Henry, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm just going to add on to what you said. One of the things that you said that's extremely important, and it's the message we send to all employees, that every employee in this district is hired for one reason, and that's to support the classroom. Whether you're a custodian, cafeteria worker, administrator, you're all to serve that classroom. So that's what we hope the focus is 100% of the time, and I know it is the majority of the time. And this board, not just this board, but previous boards have made a decision that all children matter. And so resources are spent equal throughout the district, and there's no campus that has something that another one doesn't have. And I say this all the time, that makes it very unique among large districts, that there is an equal disbursement of resources and that all children make a difference. And Mr. Jackson said this, we really don't rest on our laurels. We're not 100% pleased where we are. We're happy with progress, but we know we've got a ways to go. And we want to get there, not to shine the light on us, but to make sure that all of our children have a chance to succeed. So that's our goal.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. Also, if the board will indulge me for just a second, I'm going to go back so I don't get in trouble with Marnie to agenda item 2A, which is board comments, and just let the public know we have a deal where you can go online and sign up to be a bus buddy. I did that today, so apparently they don't do any like background checks or anything. No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that's a joke, but we really do background checks. But I did that today, and it's, you know, you can do it for one day, you can do it for half a day, but that really is, it helps so much when kids, you know, their parents are dropping them off, all the uncertainty of letting we've all been there, of letting your kids go. It's nice to have a smiling face on the bus, so if you get the chance, sign up and do that. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled meeting. Also, during the course of the committee of the whole meeting, it was the consensus of the board that the following action items be approved as submitted or amended. Agenda item 5A, the board will consider awarding bids and contracts and/or authorizing purchase orders as recommended in the posted agenda item. Assorted beverages and food, Berry Center, portable basketball floor, departmental vehicles, excess workers' compensation insurance, Review 360 maintenance and support renewals, school buses, and then we had removed the smart board stands, mounts, and installation. 5B, the board will consider approving on second reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policy CCA local, DBE local, DC local, DH local, DK local, EHDC local. 5C, the board will consider approving the tax refunds of $500 or greater for Cypress-Fairbanks ISD. 5D, the board will consider approving the minutes of the June 26, 2014 regular meeting. On Thursday, the following non-consensus items were placed on the consensus agenda. 6C, the board will consider approving on first reading additions, revisions, or deletions to district policy CK local, FFH local, FNCD local. 6B, the board will consider approving board members to serve as delegate and alternate delegate to the 2014 Texas Association of School Boards Annual Delegate Assembly. 6D, the board will consider approving a resolution to suspend portions of EIE local for the 2014-2015 school year. 6E, the board will consider approving an update of the district's hazardous traffic conditions resolution, which pursuant to TEA requirements for the district to receive supplemental transportation fundings, defines hazardous traffic conditions applicable to the district and identifies the specific hazardous areas which exist. 6F, the board will consider approving the 2014-15 Cypress-Fairbanks ISD Student Code of Conduct. G, the board will consider approving the memorandum of understanding between Harris County Juvenile Board and the Cypress-Fairbanks ISD to participate in the JJAEP for the 2014-15 school year. H, the board will consider approving a dedication of 0.0685 acres of land for a roadway easement to Harris County for expansion of Maynard Road adjacent to Hare Grove Elementary. If any member wishes to remove one or more items for further discussion, please do so at this time. If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the consensus items as recommended or amended.
Mr. President, I think we need to address B, which was the, our delegate to the assembly, because the names that we suggested on Thursday are different than the names that, I think John had made a comment that he was overwhelmed with what he's got and he wanted to turn it over to someone else to do. So don't we have to address that?
I think that was resolved. Are we good with John and Christine, or is there?
Okay.
Do we need, all right, we're good with that.
Okay, all right.
All right. So right now I've got crickets unless somebody's gonna make a motion. Anybody? Francis, you want to do something? All right. Thank you. Mr. Hoffman.
I second.
Second, Ms. Mongoya. All those in favor, please signify. It's unanimous. That will take us back, Donna, help me, to 6C, right? Okay. The board will consider the endorsement, 6C, the board will consider the endorsement of candidacy for Stephen Dennis, Channelview ISD, Paige Rander, Clear Creek ISD, Stephen Smith, Klein ISD, Ann Williams, Alief ISD. What was the Chuck's name?
Charles Cunningham.
Oh, wasn't Chuck, sorry. Right, Charles Cunningham of Humble ISD. On the TASB Board of Directors for position 4B, may I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move that the board endorse Ann Williams for Maley for ISD for position 4B on the TASB Board of Directors.
Motion, Mr. Hoffman.
Second.
Second, Dr. Ogletree. Any discussion? All those in favor? Here you go, John. All right, it's unanimous. The board discussed the following item at the Committee of the Whole meeting on Thursday, August 7th. We discussed the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. We also have another addendum. Wait. Yeah, it's after that. We will now go on to the superintendent's briefing portion of the agenda. Dr. Henry will make comments and provide information of interest to our viewers. Dr. Henry.
Did y'all vote on this one?
We're about to.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, all
I'm just doing what Donna tells me.
Okay, excuse me.
You'd be wise to do the same.
Okay. I always do. Summer school has concluded, and the district served over 14,500 students in a variety of programs at the elementary and secondary levels. Approximately 175 students met graduation requirements, and commencement exercises were held at the Berry Center on August 6th. The Instructional Technology Department hosted its second annual Digital Learning Conference on July 30th and 31st. At Cypress Woods High School, this year's theme was Inspiring Connections, and approximately 600 teachers were in attendance over the course of the 2 days. The conference provided teachers and administrators with new instructional strategies and tools to embed technology into their classrooms to promote student-centered environments. Featured speakers, along with CFISD teachers who make learning in their classroom rigorous, relevant, and engaging through the use of technology, presented at this event. Thank you to our business partners for sponsoring the conference and providing engaging sessions and awesome door prizes. Special kudos to the Cypress Ranch and Cypress Woods Key Club members for all their help in making the conference a success. The second annual CFISD Community Expo will be held Saturday, August 16th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Berry Center, offering parents a series of helpful back-to-school services in one convenient location. An effort of the Student Services Department, the Community Expo is open to all incoming CFISD students and families and will include services such as online registration for new students, immunizations, employment opportunities, free and reduced lunch and chip applications, dental screenings, athletic physicals, and community programs registration. And it's not on my script here, but if you would like to get there on time, stay off Barker Cypress as much as possible. Barker Cypress and 290 to be specific. We are preparing for the 2014-15 school year, which begins Monday, August 25th. That's 2 weeks from today. Any of our students that may be listening. Many people have worked very hard to get our facilities ready for the approximately 113,600 students at our 86 campuses. We have one new campus, Anthony Middle School, opening this year. The annual CFISD, as Mr. Ryan mentioned earlier, Bus Buddies program provides assistance to elementary students in exiting their bus at the correct location during the first 3 days of school. This is the 8th year for the program and is a valuable partnership between our volunteer schools, transportation department, and the Cy-Fair Houston Chamber of Commerce. Interested volunteers can sign up to be a bus buddy by calling 281-894-3950 or via the district's website, www.cfisd.net. And there's not one adult that I've spoken to that didn't have more fun and get more out of that program than the children did.
And you can pick your school, the schools that you want to, the bus routes that you want to go on the schools.
That is correct, I believe. Correct, Mr. Sprague?
Yeah.
Okay. Believe it or not, after we've been in school a week, we'll have Labor Day on September 1st, and that will be a student holiday. All of our facilities will be closed. In the event of an emergency, please contact our security office at 281-897-4337. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. Agenda item 9B. The board will consider authorizing the superintendent or designee to finalize and execute a purchase and sale agreement for the purchase of an approximate 13-acre tract of land located adjacent to Cy-Fair High School at US 290 and Matsky Road, and negotiate and execute any necessary closing documents and agreements required for the purchase pursuant to the terms discussed in closed session. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. President, I move the board authorize the superintendent or designee to finalize and execute a purchase and sale agreement for an approximate 13-acre tract of land adjacent to Cy-Fair High School at US 290 and Matsky Road, and negotiate and execute any necessary documents and agreements required for the purchase pursuant to the terms discussed in closed session.
Motion, Mr. Covey. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Hartley. Any questions from board members? All those in favor, please signify. It's unanimous. Dr. Henry, I'd asked you previously, we don't have a need for closed session?
No, sir.
Okay, that will conclude our meeting. I want to thank everyone for attending. I'd like to remind our viewers to be cognizant of school. Looking at Chief Bragg makes me think of this. Starting the 25th, our school zones will be back. Please drive carefully. Thank you and have a great evening.